Hello everyone and welcome to the free and live Learn the Basics of Joomla 3.1 webinar sponsored by cloudaccess.net, the official and exclusive host of the demo trial of Joomla at demo.joomla.org. My name is Bernie. I'll be your host for today's presentation, and you should all be able to hear the presentation through your computer speakers or your headset, or you can call the telephone number that was provided to you in the email you received when you registered. Currently everyone is set to mute, but feel free to post a question in the GoToMeeting slide out question area to the right of your screen. I will do my best to answer all of your questions at the very end of the presentation. During the presentation, I'll give you a very brief introduction to cloudaccess.net. Then we'll launch a Joomla 3.1 demo trial site through the cloudaccess.net client area. After the site is launched, we'll walk you through the welcome email and some of the getting started resources, and then we'll start developing our site. We'll talk about templates. We'll talk about content creation, including categories, articles, menu items, and modules. And then we'll discuss a few more resources for learning Joomla. And then I'll answer your questions. So if something occurs to you during the webinar, feel free to post a question. We'll get back to them at the end. And I am going to be moving quickly, so I don't want you to worry. If you're trying to keep up with me on a site at home, it may be difficult in some sections, but don't worry about it. I am recording the webinar, and I'm going to post a copy of the recording to our YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com/cloudaccess. I'll show you how to access it a little bit later. First, an introduction to our company. We are cloudaccess.net. We are the exclusive and official host of the demo trial of Joomla at demo.joomla.org. Joomla chose us 3 years ago in April of 2010 to be the official host, and they chose us because our company is set up for Joomla. Everything from servers to support people has been optimized for Joomla. Everyone here is very knowledgeable with it, and we enjoy working with Joomla and in the Joomla community. And we're also unique because we're on the phone with our clients. That's another reason why Joomla chose us. We have an industry-leading level of support where you can use our live chat features, you can use online ticketing, or you can call us directly to get help develop your Joomla site. Included in that standard hosting and support package is a managed backup service where we save your work every day. So if you break your site somehow, you mess it up, you don't have to worry about it. We've got a copy of it, and we can restore it for you. We also offer you the ability to create and manage your own backups. And remember, there are a few ways to get Joomla. You can always launch a server, configure a database, and then install the software. There's a lot of second guessing with that setup. We take care of that entire server-side setup for you, and you can launch unlimited demo trials of Joomla through our platform every month. And back it up and take it with you when you want, or upgrade to a paid hosting package. And if you need a custom domain name after that upgrade, not a problem. We can provide that domain name for you. You can also transfer a domain name to our servers, to our name servers, if you already own one, to point to your new site that you've developed with us. Talking about which version of Joomla might be right for you, 3.1 came out here recently, just maybe earlier this week, might have been last week. So we're going to launch a 3.1 site today. 2.5 is still available, and this is a long-term stable release, 2.5. Okay, so both versions are available, and in fact, Joomla 1.5 sites are also still available. And what that means with all three versions is that you have compounded support, but support has run out for 1.5. We do suggest that everybody upgrade to at least a 2.5 site at this point. And if you're just getting started, we do recommend the 3.1. There are many, many added benefits of launching that 3.1 site, a lot of which we'll talk about today. Now, 3.1 is a short-term release. And what that means is that there's going to be periodic improvements over time, and we expect 3.5, which is a long-term stable support release, to be out not here towards the end of 2013, but actually here in the beginning of 2014, just about a year from now. So all of the versions of 3.0 are compatible with one another, and you can easily upgrade from one to the other. So if you have any other questions about which version might be right for you, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer those. I'm more than happy to open up a 2.5 site and show you how to get through a 2.5. Just let me know what you need by posting a question. I'm going to go ahead and close this presentation at this point. Let me turn off the highlighter here. And we're going to go to cloudaccess.net to launch a site. So at cloudaccess.net, if you haven't registered yet, you'll register here. I'm going to go ahead and log into my client area. I've already created an account. And I'll log in. Now, forgot my password here. The client area, the cloudaccess.net client area, is the place where you can manage and maintain your relationship with us. Okay, so you can do a lot of things here once you launch that account. Change your account details, add contacts, change passwords or payment information, things of that nature. You can also submit that support ticket if you want to get direct help with the site. You can manage all of your products and services. If I scroll down here, you'll see that these are all websites that I've launched, most of them for the webinar, and I can manage them all. I can access the Cloud Control Panel, upgrade to a paid hosting package. I can manage my backups, change domains, transfer the service, or even log into the back end of the Joomla site. If I own any domain names, those are also located at the bottom of the client area. And to launch a new product, I'm going to click on this big blue Launch Joomla Application button. Really quickly, let me just point out that we do have live chat here. If you ever want to get help with your site, you can send a quick question, and one of our support people will get back to you very shortly. Let's go ahead and click on this big blue button, though, Launch Joomla Application, to get started. Now, we need to choose a product, and we do offer several of them. We're going to go with the demo trial here, but just to let you know that we have a $5 plan. If you purchase one Joomla Standard Hosting and Support package, those start at $19.95 a month, and we're actually running a special right now, half off, so it's $9.97, I believe, a month. Every site after that is only $5 a month. We do have a business plan and a pro plan, and we have a virtual private server space if that suits your needs. We have those ancillary products too, like SSL certificates, domain names, and transferring domain names, things like that. And we offer generic Linux hosting as well. Let's go ahead and choose our demo product. This will be the free 30-day trial. We need to pick a domain name for that, and we can have a free subdomain, a staging domain. So the subdomain is .cloudaccess.net, and we create the beginning part of this domain name. And I'm going to type in Guitar Webinar 5.1 for today, March 1st. And I can also register a new domain name with my demo trial, or I can transfer or point an existing domain name to my new site. So we're going to go ahead and use the free staging URL live for 30 days. Let's go ahead and click to continue to see if that domain is available. And it looks as though it is. We need to select our versioning. Which version of Joomla would we like? Not 1.5 or 2.5. We're going to go with the newest version, 3.0. Again, I suggest this for all users at this point. The only reason why you might go with the 2.5 is if you know you have an extension or template that's only compatible with 2.5, and it's a must-have. So let's go with 3.1, click to continue, and we're going to review our personal details here. Remember, this is our free offer, no payment method needed, and I'll complete my order. And what's happening right now is cloudaccess.net is grabbing that 3.1 package for us, and it's launching the site. The site's going to come with some sample data sets. It has some content in there already, and we're going to clear out all that content as we get started. So here's this confirmation number. letting us know our site is ready, and it's also letting us know that we're going to receive an email shortly. So I'm going to go to my email, and it's already here. So your Joomla demo login information, let's open this up. There's a lot of good information in this email, and I want to review it with you. So basically, we have here several steps to getting started. The first step is to go to the Getting Started page. I'm going to open this up. And what you can do here on this page is watch recorded webinars. We have a 3.0 webinar here and a 2.5 webinar, same content that we're going to cover today. You're always welcome back in our webinars. So we host several every week, and I'm going to show you some of our free upcoming events in addition to the basics. So we're always kind of trying to come out with new content. So always feel free to come back and register for another webinar. And we also have a knowledge base. I'll show you this a little bit later too. We have hundreds of how-to documents and videos to help you develop your site. And of course, our support team, submit a ticket and get help directly. Give us a call. Somebody will walk you through the core Joomla issue that you're experiencing. So let's go back to that email. Step 2 here is accessing your site. So there's a series of links here, and these are all useful to get to your site. The first link is your URL. Because we launched on a subdomain, this URL is going to be active right away. So I'm going to click on this, guitarwebinar51.cloudaccess.net. This is what our site looks like right now. It's a 3.1 site, and you see there's already content here. We have a site title, we have a menu with one menu item, we have this banner here, a couple modules off to the right side, latest article and a login form, and then we have an article here. And if we scroll down, this is actually a breadcrumbs module at the bottom. We have our copyright at the bottom as well. So again, I'm going to show you how to clear this content out as we get started and then replace it with your own content. Getting back to that welcome email, this staging URL is going to take you to the very same place. So this one will always be active. I'm going to click on this just to show you that it also takes you to the front end. And the reason why this is here is if you purchase a domain name or if you point an existing domain name to our servers when you launch that site, that domain might not be active right away. It takes a while to propagate sometimes. So you'll always have the staging URL to access the site. Now, the third link is a one-click access to the administration area through the staging URL, and the fourth link is a one-click access to the administration area through the subdomain or the URL that we purchased. So both of these links go to the same place, and this is the back end of your Joomla site. Okay, so this is what's called the control panel or the administration area or the Joomla backend. I call it the backend, and this is where you create and manage all of your content and your users and your modules and your extensions and your language settings and all of your templates, all of these things. You can create articles and categories, add many files in your media manager. You can create menus. Again, add those users and create your access control levels. Add modules to the site and add extensions. You can configure and set up language settings and add language packages. You can set up some global configuration settings for the entire site, or add, edit, change, copy your templates, things like that. Edit your profile, and these buttons here are new to Joomla 2.5 versions and up. You can see if there's any update for Joomla itself or any of the extensions that you feature on your site. So it's kind of a one-click updater system. It's really quite convenient. Now, once you make your changes in this area, those changes immediately show up on the front end, and you see how easy it is to toggle back and forth between the two views. Now, a lot of these quick links here are also available over off to the left side as well. I'm sorry, over off on the top menu as well. So we'll kind of run through a lot of these today, show you how to access many of the core features. Let's go back to the welcome email just to point out that you can log into the Joomla site manually. Okay, so I'm going to go to the back end again. Let's go ahead and log out. There is this secure login area, and just to point out that the username and password are included in the welcome email. So I'm just going to simply copy and paste those into the appropriate fields, and I'll log in. Ask Google Chrome to save my password for conveniency. And step 3 here is all about the client area and submitting tickets. Kind of something we already walked through, but again, your details to log back in there as well. So let's let's start developing. But before we get started, I suppose we should talk about the front end and a template and what a template is. We're using a template in our site, and this template is called the Protostar template. It's a theme, and it's basically a template is a look and layout for the site, and you have many to pick from. I'm going to go back to cloudaccess.net. I want to show you our list of approved template vendors. These are third-party companies. I'm going to go down to templates and themes here. At the bottom of this page, we have a list of template developers that we like their work. We think they come up with good quality stuff. You can browse through all of their templates and pick one that suits you. There are thousands and thousands available. Okay, so for instance, I always like to go to UThemes and point out some of their cool things. We actually use a UTheme-based template for our site. Let's go to themes. They call them themes here at UThemes. And we'll go to Joomla and come out with really great, simple, clean stuff. And we're going to view the template demos. So this is the Solar template for UThemes, and you see that it comes with some featured articles here. This is going to be an image rotator at the top. And typically if you purchase the template, it comes with these things, and you can include your custom imagery and things like that. Some type of featured article system here towards the top as well. And anything else to point out? Not a whole lot, but it's pretty cool little template, Solar. Browse through all their other themes. You see how many there are. Okay, and there are many available, and you should find the template that works right for your site. We are going to stick with this Protostar template today because it's a great learning tool. It's a great template to get started with, and it's free. It's already included in your site, and it does give you some options to set it up. So let's show you how to access the template. The first place we're going to go is the Template Manager here in the Quick Links area, also available under Extensions. Template Manager goes to the same place. And notice how we have 4 templates in the site already. The Protostar is the one we're using, and you can change that template by moving this star around. So notice how the location for a template is the site or administrator. Some templates are for the front end, and then some templates are for the back end, the administrator that we're looking at, the control panel. If you move the star around, let's change the administrator template from the ISIS template to Hathor, for instance. Just click on the star. You'll notice we get a different look and feel for the back end. Now, I've grown accustomed to Protostar, to ISIS, so I'm going to change it back. But you can, find different administrative templates out there as well. Now, notice when I changed that back, I got this green message. Whenever you do something successfully in Joomla, you'll receive that green message letting you know that you were successful. And I'll also show you a red message later and a yellow message. And a red is a warning that you messed up somehow, you broke something, or it didn't work correctly. And a yellow is a caution message. Let's change our default template for the site, for the front end, from Protostar to Bees 3. Let's change that. We get our green message. Just go ahead and return to the front end and refresh the page. And this is a different template. And this one's a little bit harder to edit. We have this banner here and the font size indicator at the top. Our modules are now off to the left side with our content here. This is a little bit harder to edit. And so Protostar has a lot of built-in features that make it easy to edit. So I'm going to change my template back to Protostar here. Let's return and refresh. And I want to show you how to access some additional information about Protostar. If you go to our page, go to cloudaccess.net, go to Training, and go to Joomla Knowledge Base. This is a knowledge base full of hundreds of how-to documents for Joomla. Let's go ahead and go down to Joomla 3.0. Really should change this to 3.1 actually. But we'll scroll down, and I'm going to go to the very bottom category here, Protostar Responsive Template. I've created a series of articles here for you to go through all the different options you have for Protostar. So the first thing I'm going to open up is the Protostar module map. This is an important piece. When you're considering any template online, make sure you have a module map. Now this gives you all the positions that you have available for your content. And it's really nice visually to see this when you pick those positions for your modules. And you'll see me refer back to this later today. You see there are quite a few positions. It's fairly basic though. Okay, and you can download this here, print it off. I do suggest you print it off and keep it right on your desk. Really, really helpful as you develop your site. In fact, the first time I developed a Joomla site, I didn't know the module map existed. It would have saved me a lot of time. So we're going to keep this page open, but there were a number of other articles, and some of the articles cover things like editing the template. I'm going to go ahead and open it up here and go to the Options tab. So there's some basic details about the template. Let's go to the Options tab, and I want you to notice that there's a template color and a background color, and there's also a logo that you can add to the site. I'm going to go ahead and add that logo now. I'm going to push Select. This takes me to my Media Manager where I can upload images. I'm going to choose a file from my computer. I'm going to go to my Documents, my webinar images, have a folder already. I have done some work for our guitar site, getting some imagery ready and kind of planning out what I want my site to look like. Always good to have a plan for your content when you get started. So let's go ahead and select our logo that we're going to pick. That might be too big. Nope, this is our logo right here. So now I have the file name here, and I'm going to start the upload. Notice that my Joomla site and my Media Manager, it already comes with some folders already and some imagery. I can show you how to delete those later. For now, let's start our upload. We get a green message that we uploaded that, and all we have to do now is select it. Notice how the image URL appears below, and we'll go ahead and insert. So now that we have our logo in place, let's go ahead and save. Notice how the template stays open when I click Save, but I get our green message. Let's return to the front end and refresh the page. Here we have our Guitar Central logo, and it replaced our site title, Your Joomla Site Hosted with cloudaccess.net. So here is our template logo, and notice if I go back to the module map that logo automatically goes in the logo position. So let's talk about a few more options for the template here. I want to change the background color and these template colors, these menu buttons, my headings, my headlines, and perhaps my links as well. Okay. In the back end, again under Options, let's go to Template Color. This is going to change those menu items, headings, buttons, and links. So for instance, if I go to black to match my logo and click Save, let's return to the front end and refresh, and my button color is going to change to black. My heading is going to change to black, but also all of my links. And black might not be the best for what we want to do. I'm going to leave it, excuse me. I'm going to leave it at black for now, but I might change it back a little bit later. Let's go ahead and go back to Options. Notice the background color here too. You can change this. I will move this to black as well to kind of match our theme. Let's go ahead and save here. Return and refresh. The background is just that. It's the background behind the main container. And a lot of folks ask, well, I want my content to fill the entirety of the page. Is that possible? I want to get rid of that container. And it is possible with this template. So right now all of our content is in this white container, and we can turn this off. Again, this is under Options as well. All the way at the bottom, we have static layout, and static keeps it in the container, or you can select fluid and save. This will make your content fill the monitor size. Okay, so now we have all of our content filling the space. I kind of prefer to have the container, so I'm going to put that back to static under Options again and save and close this time. And now we're kicked back out to our template manager. Once we click Save and Close, let's return and refresh. And now we have our logo in place with our custom colors. We need to next develop content. And I want you to write this down. It's going to be important to understand as we develop the content. Write this down. This is a workflow, and it's very much like connecting the dots. the first dot is a category. You have to first create a category, and then you'll link or you'll save articles that you write into different categories. And after you save the articles into categories, you'll link the articles to menu items. So definitely this is the process to learn, because this process is replicated throughout Joomla, whether you're using your contact manager, okay, your user manager. This process is similar throughout. So learn this and learn it now, because it's going to help you understand how Joomla works, period. So the first thing we're going to do is create a category. So we'll return to the back end of the site. And to get back to the control panel, let's go to System and Control Panel. This gets us back to that main control panel view. Again, that's System, Control Panel. And we're going to go to the Category Manager here, also available under Content, Category Manager. I want you to notice how there is one uncategorized category already. I'm going to show you how to delete this in a little bit. Your Joomla site will come with some sample content because it has to have some stuff in there to work correctly. Okay, so we're going to keep that one category, but I'm going to click on the New button. And categories really are only folders. They exist primarily in the back end of your Joomla site, and it's just a way for you to stay organized. If you don't have a whole lot of content, you may only want one category. We're going to create a few, and when you create the category, you'll have to pay attention to the asterisks. And this is the same with a menu item or a module or an article. The asterisk, that's the required information. Okay, and there's only actually one piece of required information for a category, and that's a title. So what I'm going to title this one is Guitar Central Inventory. And let's select Save and Close. Actually, let's select Save. Watch what happens. We get our green message. The category stays open for me to work on. A lot of other details here to explore. But again, the title's the only thing we need. Let's select Save and Close. We get kicked back out to the Category Manager where we view all of our categories. Let's open it again. Let's select Save and New. And we can create a new category. It saves the old one. Let's create a second category. Let's title this Guitar Lessons. And save a new. I'm going to do one more. Call this one Guitar Central General Articles. Save and close. So now we have our three categories with the one category that we're going to delete in just a little bit. Let's return to our control panel. After we create our three categories, I just want to point out again that the Category Manager, it has this little file folder icon here. This is the way to stay organized in your backend. And you can do an article search very quickly and effectively in the future if you just stay organized. So try to stay as organized as you can as you begin the site. Notice if I return to the front end and refresh, we don't see any of those categories. Again, they exist in the back end to stay organized. Let's next, remember the next step? Articles. We're going to write a few articles now to save into those categories, and those articles will eventually appear on the front end. So in the back end, let's go to our article manager here. We have one article already, Getting Started. That is the article that appears here on the front end. And we're going to get rid of this one in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and click on the New button to create a new article. And just as with the category, you'll have to use the asterisks, okay, for required information. Let's title this first article, Welcome to Guitar Central. Always pick the category where you want to save it. This is going to go into our General Articles category. And you have to have some article text in order to save the article. For now, I'm going to put some keystrokes in here. But let's pretend I want to change the font of this text or the size of this text, or I want to highlight this text or change the color. I can't do that using this editor. This is a very basic editor. They call them a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get, and you don't get very much at all. So I want to show you first, before we continue, how to get a new editor into your site. We'll kind of illustrate how Joomla can be extensible So we have 155 people registered for this morning's webinar, and I'm assuming there's a lot of new users. Joomla is very extensible. You can reach outside and grab different extensions and plug them into your Joomla site to increase your functionality either in the back end or on the front end, or both. First, let's go ahead and select Save and Close in this article. We're going to come back into it in just a moment. So here's our new article. We're going to reach outside of Joomla, and we're going to install a new editor, something that gives us a lot more options. Let's go ahead and go to the internet, and I'm going to search for the JCE editor. Now this is one of the most popular extensions for all of Joomla. Go to the first link here, joomlacontenteditor.net. This has been downloaded millions and millions of times. There are some paid features at this site, but this particular backup is free. Or I'm sorry, this particular editor is free. Let's go to Downloads, Editor, and make sure we get the editor that's right for our version. And even though this says 3.0, I know this is compatible with Joomla 3.1. So I'm going to select this, and I need to select the most recent version, okay? And I also need to make sure it's a zip file. If you're going to install any type of extension through the back end of Joomla, it has to be a zip file. So this is the latest version right here. Actually, no, it's down here. April 25th, 2013. This is compatible with 3.0, so I know we're set to go. And this is a component, okay? There are several different types of extensions. Components are really large pieces of software that you can add to your site. They have a lot of functionality, a lot of options in the back end. A step down from a component is a module. It just goes in one little position on your site, and users do see it on the front end typically, and you can move them around and configure them. Now there's also a plugin. A plugin is a really small piece of software that you can add to the site. Typically only increases your functionality in the back end. Now there's also add-ons and language packages, and you can also consider a template an extension. Definitely. So let's download this extension, this zip file. I'm going to put this in my downloads folder and save. Once it's downloaded to my computer, I'll return to the back end of my site. Let's get back to our control panel. We'll come back to that article in just a moment. And to install the extension, we'll go to the extension manager here. And let's go to Extensions, Extension Manager, up here, same place. I'm going to choose my file from my computer, go to my Downloads folder, and select my JCE zip file. Open it up. Once the name appears in the field, I'll click Upload and Install. Wait just a moment. We'll get a green message letting us know the installation was successful. A couple other pieces of information about the editor itself. And let's return to our control panel. Now, once you install a component, it's going to appear here under your components list. So here's our JCE editor under components. If you install a module, it's going to appear here, or a plugin will appear here. Okay, we're going to open this site back up next week and continue developing. We'll show you the date and time of that a little bit later on today, but we'll install plugins and modules during that second webinar for this site. So feel free to come on back and learn a little bit more. Now, even though we installed the editor, let's go ahead and notice here in the control panel we have recently added articles. Let's go ahead and open up that article we just wrote. I want you to notice that we still have our basic editor. Okay, we still have to ask Joomla to make this the active or default editor for our site. So I'm going to save and close the article, and what we're going to do is go back to the control panel, and we're going to go to Global Configuration here, also available under System, Global Configuration, or also available under the Quick Links. Same place. And global configuration, these are the global settings for your entire site. So if you change right here, default editor for your site settings, anytime your editor appears, it's not going to be this tiny MCE editor. It's going to be the JCE editor we just installed. You see Joomla recognizes it, so we'll save that. There are a number of options in this area. Notice this first option is your site name. This is that title that was on the front of our site that was replaced by our logo. You might want to consider changing this. We'll change this to Guitar Central. You can take your site offline as you work. Many options here. There are SEO setting options. Let's scroll down. There are metadata settings. If you want people to find you on the internet, you can create meta descriptions and meta keywords. There are other system, server, permissions, and text filter options, all of which are really relevant towards what you want to accomplish eventually. So feel free to ask questions. For now, I'm going to select Save and Close. We've changed our editor. We get our green message. Let's go ahead and open up that article we already wrote. And notice how we have many more options. We have so many more buttons here now. And we can change, we can highlight text, we can change the font size, and we can do tons of different things here. Okay, we can make this a heading and all of these things. So a lot of these features you're familiar with if you've used any type of word processor in the past, but some of these you may not be familiar with. I kind of want to just run you through the basics of the editor right now. Just take a few minutes. And number one is how to access source code. How do I look at the HTML version? There are two ways to do that. You can click on Toggle Editor here. This gives you the HTML. If you want it, if you're HTML junkie, you want to get in there and edit, you can do that, or click on this button right here and we'll take you to the same place. It's the source code, and this is a color version, same thing. Okay, you might be asking yourself, why would I ever want to know how to access the code? I'm not a coder. I thought Joomla was easy. Well, as you develop, Joomla is easy, but you'll find that it might be really convenient to access the code at certain points, because if you ever want to embed a YouTube video or add a Facebook like button, this is one of the ways where you can accomplish that. Okay, let's scroll back though. Let's go back. I'm going to delete our content so far. I want to get some new content for the site. I'm going to go back to the internet here quickly and go to Lorem Ipsum. Search for Lorem Ipsum. This is just filler text. Just going to get some dummy text for the site. And just to fill up spaces, I'm going to copy this paragraph and the heading, and I'll copy. But I want you to notice how it comes with some formatting, like the bold text and perhaps a font with that. If I were to copy that and paste it right in here directly, I'd also be copying that formatting, and that formatting can be potentially damaging to the site. And so what I'm going to want to do is go to this clipboard here, and this is the paste option, but I'm going to paste as plain text. And what this does, if I paste my text in here and then insert, it gets rid of that formatting. I do suggest that you do that process. You use that clipboard to paste that text in there because that formatting can be potentially damaging. We have seen people break their entire Joomla sites by pasting in formatted text. Now, you can do a number of things with your text here. I'm going to make this a heading. This is also really useful for SEO purposes. I'm going to make that an H2 heading. Those search engines, they index heading 1 and heading 2. And if I go back to my source code, notice that I have the H2 tag here. And those web spiders, those crawlers, are going to index that H2 tag, and it'll help people find me on the internet. Now, another really popular question is, how do I insert imagery? Okay, you can click on this image button below the article to insert an image, just as we did with our logo. This is the core Joomla way. That button is there regardless of the editor you choose, or you can use this little picture frame button within your article. Okay, I'm going to put my cursor where I want my image to appear. Let's go ahead and click on the little picture frame. And here is my Media Manager. I'll show you how to access the Media Manager independently here. Here's that logo we already uploaded. Let's click on this button to upload a new image. I like the Image Manager here, this whole system, because you can do much more with your images. Let's go ahead and browse our computer. I'm going to go to my Documents, Webinar Images, and go to the guitar site. Let's pick our black and white image here and upload. So just uploaded that to my Media Manager, and it's checked. I get the preview. It looks like I'm ready to insert, but if I click the Insert button, I'm going to get a warning that a URL is required. I've only really uploaded that to my Media Manager. I still need to select it here for this information, the properties, to be complete. So click on the file name. The properties are now complete, and let's go ahead and insert. So there I get my image. I'm going to go ahead and save. I like to save my work often. But another popular question is, I can't see the entirety of my article. How do I see more? You can use this little drag and drop feature to see more of your text, or click on this button here to expand to the full screen mode. And then you have more space to work with. And another popular question is, how do I wrap text? You see our text looks kind of goofy. I want all of this text to jump up and around my image. Let's go ahead and highlight the image again. We'll go back to the Image Manager. Another reason to use this feature. Let's watch what happens in the preview area over here when I select left alignment. The text jumps up and around the image. Notice it's really close to the image. I can add a margin in here. I'll add a margin in of 5, and that's for pixels. And that stays equal on all sides. And just to mention that you can edit the dimensions of your images here, but it's best practice to do this before you get them into your Joomla site, because when people load your page, they're going to load your original image size, and even if you resize it. So it might take some additional time to load that image. So change those before you get them into your site. If you want to know what tools I use to resize images, I'm happy to share that with you. I use some free online tools. Let's go ahead and close the full screen mode. And notice how my text is now left aligned to my image, and I've got that margin there. It looks pretty good. So let's save and close that first article. So now that we have that article created, let's return to the front end finally and refresh, and nothing changes. And so we want to link that article to a menu item here. Okay, and we need to get rid of the Getting Started article in addition to all of this other content. So in the back end, let's go ahead and get back to the control panel, and this time we're going to go to our menu manager. Before we do that though, let me just open up the media manager. Let me show you that this is your core Joomla media manager, and here are the images we've already uploaded, and you do have some content, right? You do have some content already in the site, some Joomla imagery, things like that. I'm going to just select these. If you want to get rid of those, just select the images and click on the delete button. Those images are now gone. It is a good idea to erase any unwanted imagery here because that imagery takes up space on your server. So get rid of everything you don't need. And there are 3 folders full of images too, so you'll have to get in there and delete those manually. Let's get back to our control panel though, and we'll go again to the menu manager. Now do this right away, okay? Notice how there are 2 menus already in your site, the main menu and the user menu. I'm going to recreate the user menu during a later webinar, and I think you should delete it and then rebuild it so you learn all of the functionality from the ground up. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select the user menu, and I'm just going to click delete. I get the warning, are you sure you want to delete? This is permanent, and I'm going to say okay. I get the green message. I got that out of there completely. Please come back to the Beyond the Basics webinar next week to learn how to recreate it. I'm going to go open up the main menu, and I want you to notice that we have one menu item. That's the home menu item. It's a single article, and that's this menu item here, home, and here's the single article it's pointing to. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's open it up, and first I'm going to leave it as a single article menu item type, but notice you have many options. You can do contact forms and smart searches and news feeds, and the new tags feature is really cool. The user manager, you know, this is for that user menu where you have your login forms and registration forms. You have many options here. I'm going to do a few different menu item types today, but let's go ahead and select an article. Right now it's pointing to Getting Started, and I'm going to change that to Welcome to Guitar Central. Now, I'm going to change the title of it as well. I'm going to change it to Guitar Central Home. And let's go ahead and save now. Let's return to the front end and refresh the page. And finally, we see our content appear. So we changed that link, and that's the really important step again. When we change this link here, which article do we want to link to the single article menu item type? We select Guitar Central. We link the 2 together. Let's select Save and Close. And this is my new home page. Notice how it changed. Notice how my tab in my browser changed, and my menu item title changed as well. Let's talk now, after we've got some of our content up there, we need to get rid of some things. We need to get rid of this banner. We need to get rid of that old Getting Started article, these modules, and any unneeded content in the site. So first, let's get back to our control panel. And let's go to the category or sorry, let's go to the article manager first. We want to get rid of the getting started article, so I'm simply going to select it and then throw it in the trash. I can always unpublish it if I click on the green check mark here. It's now unpublished, so no one can view it, but I want it permanently gone, so I'm going to select it and throw it in the trash. And now it's gone, but it's still actually in my site. If I go over to the filter here and select the status for the articles, I can look at my trashed articles, and notice it's still here. I can republish it or trash it. I want to select it. I want to empty my trash. I want to get it permanently out of my site. Okay, so let's go back to viewing all of our articles. So now that article is permanently gone. We'll do the same thing for our categories. So let's go to the category manager. Remember, we created the 3 we wanted, but we have the uncategorized, so let's select it and throw it in the trash. And then we'll go select our status as well. Go to our trashed categories, select it again, and empty our trash. Let's go ahead and return to our control panel. And let's talk about modules. Remember, on the front end, we've got the banner, we've got the side modules, and the breadcrumb at the bottom. Let's get rid of those. Those are in these different various positions. We have our logo, and we have our menu in position 1. That small banner is in position 3. We've got some position 7 modules as well. In the back end, let's go ahead and go to our module manager right here, also available under extensions, module manager. We want to get rid of all of these except for one. Okay? We want to get rid of all of these except for one. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to display all of my modules over here, and I'm going to select them all. I don't want to raise any red flags though, because we can absolutely recreate any of these module types. Notice how they're just kind of published, but they have no positions and they're on no pages, most of them. Okay? By clicking on the new button, we can create new modules, and I'll show you how to do it in a moment. But for now, I'm going to select all of them, and I want to delete all of them except for one, and that's this main menu. Okay? So notice how some of these have positions at the bottom. I'm going to deselect main menu because I want that to show. Again, that's this module here, our menu module. And what I'm going to do now is throw all of these in the trash. I'm going to get my green message letting me know that we successfully trashed 26 modules. I'm going to go over to our filter here and select our trashed modules. Select them all again and empty my trash. And now I get my yellow message letting me know that there's no trashed modules, and I know that, so I got rid of them. Let's view all of our modules. So here's our main menu. Let's return to our front end now and refresh the page, and finally, we get those modules gone. Now, we need to create some more content. I want to show you how to do a few more things with the main menu items. So we're going to go create a few additional articles here in the back end. Let's go to Content Article Manager. I want to create a few new articles, and let's title this first one Acoustic Guitars. Let's put this in the inventory category, and I'm going to paste in that text again and insert. I'm going to make it heading out of this. I'm also going to insert an image here. I'm going to browse my computer again. And I'm going to select my acoustic guitar, open, just to show you that you can upload several images at once. Let's do our electric guitar. And we're going to select, I think I've got an amplifier image, and open. So now we have 3. We can upload 3 at once. Let's go ahead and select our acoustic guitar image. We're going to do a right alignment with this, with a margin of 5. And insert. So now we have a second article. Let's go ahead and select Save and New. Just going to write another article, Electric Guitars. Make sure it goes in the inventory category. Paste as plain text again. I know I'm being repetitious here, but we need the content for our site, and I find that the repetition is useful for our new users. Kind of remember how to do things. Let's select Heading 2. We'll insert that image. Let's do our electric guitar. I'm going to do right alignment here as well with the margin of 5 and insert and save and new. We'll do one more article. Let's call this one amplifiers. It's in the inventory category. Paste as plain text. Last time, one more time. Insert that image and amplifier. We'll do right alignment with the margin and insert. Let's go ahead and select save and close, and now we have those 3 extra articles. So let's talk about the status. So I showed you how you can unpublish an article, but let's talk about featuring an article. I'm going to go ahead and feature those 3 articles we just created. And what we can do now is create a featured article menu item type. Okay, so we'll go back to our main menu. Let's go to our menu manager. Again, menus, menu manager. We'll open up our main menu, and we'll create a new menu item type. So far, we have one single article. So we'll select our menu item type. Again, you can do many different types of menu items, but we're going to stick with articles to show off more content. We have one single article so far. Let's do a featured article. What this does, it helps you pull multiple articles and display them on a single page. So we'll do featured article. Let's title this Explore Our Inventory, maybe. And save. We get a green message. Let's return to the front end and refresh. So here's Explore Our Inventory. Let's open this up. And here are the 3 articles that we wrote. So notice how, well, there's a few things you might notice. Number 1, you get these article details. And any article that's not on the home page, notice that doesn't appear here. Any article that's not on the home page will have these details appear, but you can shut these off. And you can do that in a number of places. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Notice also the layout. Okay, you might not like the lead article and the 2-column layout. You can change that too. So in the back end, let's first change that layout. Let's go to Advanced Options here. And notice how you have layout options. Now there are global settings for this, or you can change it through the menu items. So what we're going to do is just change this to 3 columns. And let's save. We'll return to the front and refresh. And well, it gave us a third column here. So what we want to do is get rid of this leading article. So we'll go back to Advanced Options. Let's do leading 0. Let's do intro 0 for safe measure 2 and save and return and refresh. Oh, but now it got rid of all 3. It kind of gave us an article list. So we want to make sure we get this right. Maybe get rid of this one and save. Let's return and refresh. And there, finally, we get our articles in the 3 columns. So for our inventory. I want to get rid of these article details, though. And I can do that through the menu item, okay? Or I can do that globally for all of my articles. I'm going to shut that off globally for everything. So what I'm going to want to do is save and close the menu item. And I'm going to go back to my article manager, and all of those details appear within these articles. I can shut them off individually through the article itself, or if I want to shut them off for all articles, let's go to the Article Options button here. And under the Articles tab, all of these details, all of these green shows or yes, that's the stuff that's in there, those article details. So if I move all of this stuff to hide, it's going to hide them. I do want to show my title, though. So I'm going to show my title. I am going to link my title as well. But I'm going to say no or hide to everything else. And that is going to hide that ugly stuff. There's some really useful features here like the Read More button. If you ever want Read More to appear in your text, you might want to leave that to show. Let's go ahead and hide that for now and select Save. Notice how we had author and category hits and publish date, and we have the print and email icons. Now if I refresh, though, all of that is gone. So we cleaned it up a little bit. Let's move on. I want to show you how to create modules. So we deleted our modules, and I'm more than happy to show you any other menu item type that you're interested in. Just let me know, post that question. But we need to get to modules, so we're nearing the end of the webinar, and you know, we already have some content we're developing, and things are moving along. But we need to get a nice big image about our company up here, okay? And we already have content in our article, so I need to create a module. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is go visit our module map, and I want to pick a position. Right now we have our logo. This is for our homepage, our logo. We have our menu in position 1, and then we have our content. Okay, if we pick some of these other positions for our content, for our modules, our content will fit into this one little area, and we'll fill up more of our site. So I'm going to put an image in the banner position here. Okay, so in the back end, I'm going to save and close the Article Manager option. Let's go ahead and go to Extensions, Module Manager, and we're going to click on the New button to create a new module. Remember, we deleted all those modules, and these are all the modules we deleted. These are the same things. We can just recreate them. So you can do many different types of modules. You can display your articles or your categories through modules. You can create a banner component for advertisements. There's breadcrumbs. You can do custom HTML. This is what we're going to do for a custom image. This is probably 90% of the time you'll do a custom HTML module. You can do feed displays, footers, latest news, login, menu modules, okay? All different types of stuff. Smart search modules. Let's go ahead and and you can install new modules in your site too if the functionality you want isn't here, right? So let's do custom HTML. And this, again, custom HTML is the way that you customize the text and images that go within there. So let's go ahead and title this our Guitar Central banner. I'm going to show my title for now. Let's select a position. Remember, I'm going to do the banner position. Okay, so in the back end, what I can do is I can browse these three. That's not the template I'm using. I browse per template. I can go to Protostar. That's the template we're using, and notice here's the banner position. Let's select that and go to Custom Output next. Using our editor, we can upload an image. So I'm going to browse my computer just as we did before. I've already created a banner for my site. I've pre-measured, so I'm going to select this image here. I've pre-measured. I have my image ready. Select that image. I get my preview up here. Let's go ahead and insert. So there's my imagery, and I'm going to want to next go to menu assignment. Right now this is on all pages. We can change that. Let's click Save and return, and let's refresh. Notice our banner. So it's a pretty nice image. And a couple things. Number one, I get my title here. I don't like it, and it's on all of my pages for my site. So I'm going to want to turn that banner off on this page and remove that title. So here, what I can do, show title, I'm going to hide this. And then for my menu assignment, right now it's on all pages. I only want the pages selected, and then I'll deselect all of them and then just select the home page. Okay, so now it's only on my home page. Let's save and close. Let's return to the front end and refresh. It's gone off of this page. Let's get to our home page, and our banner is here, but no title. Okay, let's create a few more modules so you can just see the process. We're going to put our menu here. Let's create a second menu module for this. We'll put it off to the right side here. And looking at the module map, we're going to put that in position 7 here. So in the back end, let's create a new module. This time I'm going to do a menu module. Let's title this our side menu. And I'll show the title. Which position do I want? Scroll down to Protostar, and we'll select right position 7. And then under Options, which menu do we want to display? Well, we only have one, and that's our main menu. Okay, so let's go ahead and just leave that there, and let's select Save and Close. Let's return and refresh, and notice my side menu appears over here. Let's put one off to the left side now. Return to our module map. We'll do position 8 and return new. Let's just do like a latest news article. These are popular. Latest news. Let's go ahead and title this one Latest News. We'll show the title, select a position, left position 8, and save and close. These are on all pages, by the way. Let's refresh. Latest news. If we go to our inventory, notice this doesn't look that great, so we might want to turn those off on these 2 pages. So in the back end, we can open up our latest news. Again, go to menu assignment. Only the pages selected. We'll deselect that inventory page. Oop. Save and close. I just copied it by accident. And I'm going to select and trash that one. Now we can go to our side menu as well and do the same thing. Save and close. Return and refresh, and those should disappear, which they do, so that's good. So, you know, our site's coming along. Our site's coming along. There are many, many more options. Of course, this webinar just scratched the surface of what's possible. I'm going to go back to cloudaccess.net, and I just want to invite you back to another webinar. Let's go to training and go to webinars. And I want you to notice that we have a Beyond the Basics, Monday, May 6th, so Monday of next week. We're going to open this webinar back up, or we're going to open the site back up, and we're going to continue developing. So we're going to do much, much more with the site, and many other module types, menu item types. We're going to reach out, grab some extensions, plug them into the site. But don't be shy. Post your question now and let me know what you're interested in learning. Okay? I did record this webinar. I will continue to record until the questions are over. So if you want to come back and review it in the future, you may on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cloudaccess. I'm going to post this here under a playlist, and it's going to be, where is it? Not here. It's hiding on me. I need to show our Joomla 3.0 playlist. Let's go down to playlist here. I'm going to post it under Joomla 3.0 webinars. Okay, and you can also get to it through our recent webinars as well. So Joomla 3.0 webinars, you can find this here later today. So don't be shy, post your questions now. You can also raise a hand. I can bring you live into the webinar to speak with you directly. 155 people registered today, so have some patience if we don't get to your question. Richard does have a hand up, though. Hey, Richard.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. How can I help you?
Yeah, you were showing us that with the when you uploaded through the extensions manager, the JC editor.
Mm-hmm.
What if you have a situation where you're getting an error where the package is too big? Can you show us how to upload it through that temp folder? I think there's a thing where you can upload it through the temp folder. And my second question is, do you have to unzip the zip package if you do that? Upload it through that other way.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've actually only uploaded extensions through core Joomla functionality, but let me send the question to Jen. I'm going to see if Jen can't jump in and join us. So give me just a minute. I'm going to send her a message, just see if she can't jump in to help us with that. Just a second, folks. I'm typing a message to Jen, who's our project manager here. Got time to join a webinar to show me how to install an extension through the temp folder. We'll see what Jen says. We can always experiment if she doesn't have a moment. So we'll just let her get back to us. You know, Hamza posted a question. How Joomla support right-to-left content side by side with left-to-right content? Wow, that's a really good question. That's a really excellent question. As you can see, our content is reading left to right, of course, because it's English, and English is written left to right, but not all languages, of course, are written left to right. So how might we get left to right content next to right to left content? It's an excellent question. I've never been asked that before either. I'm going to first go to the extensions directory, extensions.joomla.org. And if you are new to Joomla, you saw me search directly for the JCE editor, but you can go to extensions.joomla.org to search for all the extensions. There are over 6,000 extensions available, and this is for versions 2.5 and 3.1. Go to this link here. If you have one of those older 1.5 sites, there are thousands more available for Joomla 1.5. You can browse the different categories for the extensions to find that functionality that you're after. So what I'm going to probably want to do is go to languages here, Hamza, to see if there's an option for multilingual content, translations, language edition. I might want to go to multilingual content and explore these extensions. So KMS Trans Pro, multi-language, giving the user an easy and fast content translation experience. It seems like you want multiple languages on one site, though. Really fascinating. So Richard, it does seem like Jen has a minute to join, so she's going to jump in and show us how to do that. Hamza, we might ask Jen this as well. I'm going to do some searching for you to see. So Josetta, I know I've heard of Josetta or Joomfish. These are for 2.5 versions, though. Okay, so I'm going to search for multiple languages and see what we discover. See if there's an extension out there for multiple languages. So what is CSV Advanced? It's only compatible with 2.5. And here's a tip. If you're just looking through these extensions, let's go to CSV Advanced. It's got to be compatible with your site. And CSV Advanced is only available for 2.5. Okay, this is a commercial extension, which means it costs some money. All right. I'm going to scroll down. Notice how there are some pretty decent reviews. I always look at the reviews. So there are excellent reviews for this. Kind of go through the functionality here. And I don't think this is what we want anyway. So we're going to go back. You know, I heard Jen join us. Jen, thanks for hopping in.
Hi, Bernie. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We had a really good webinar. We did the Guitar Central site again.
Okay.
But I have two questions for you. A second one popped up. And Hamza would like to know how to feature left to right language and right to left on the same page. Have you ever encountered that before?
Where you get an error when you're trying to install, or it's asking specifically
No.
to install?
So this is a different question altogether. Yep. Hamza would like to feature Arabic and English on the same website. I know.
The only way I know how to do it, you have to choose one as a default, and then it's with the language manager where you can choose which language to.
Okay.
But I don't know, because that's a whole different, because one is right to left and one is left to right.
Yeah.
A different layout. So you may need to copy your template and do a whole template style in Arabic and then another whole one in English.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Well, Hamza, to get started, you could go to the language manager. And right now we only have one package in here. That's English. I'm going to go click on Install Language, and let's get the Arabic language in here. I believe this is what we need right here. Let's go ahead and install. And we should get our green message. So let's go ahead and get back to our language manager, and we'll see that Arabic appear. So here's our Arabic language. We can change that as our default, and that's going to be the default now for our site. If I return to the front end and refresh, I don't think anything's going to change, but things move obviously, from right to left. So that's the first thing we do. Obviously, we wrote in English, okay? So our text is still going to be in English. It doesn't translate for us. We'd have to recreate that content in Arabic. Your question, though, is how to get them both on one page. Man, really, really great question.
Yeah, I don't know. The only other thing I could think of is putting the content in its own module
Yeah,
and displaying the module on that page.
right, because we could, but see, it automatically moved our content when we select that Arabic as default. Like we could, I think Hamza now is asking for not on the same page. So, okay, so at first we were trying to answer for it being on the same page. Hamza, if you didn't want it on the same page, what you can do is you can still add this. I'm going to change back to English here. You can still add the language package, and then you can recreate. What you're going to have to do is recreate your content using the Arabic and English language, okay? And what you'll eventually do is create a module, which is the language switcher. So you'll have all your content created twice, once in English, once in Arabic, and then you use the language switcher to switch those. I have a resource for you, and it's pretty complicated. Well, actually, I wouldn't say complicated, but I would say involved. I'm going to go to the knowledge base, or actually, let's go back to webinars, and it's in our recorded webinars, and we've got a lot of recorded webinars here for you. This is the one you're looking for, the multilingual webinar. Let's open this up. I'm going to copy this link and send it to you. And this is about a 2-hour session on how to create that multilingual website. So Hamza, actually I sent that link to everybody. I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. But Jen, I know your time is valuable. So Richard wants to know. Hey Richard, are you there? Richard, are you there? Uh-oh. I can't.
Hello?
Hey, Richard, yeah, ask Jen your question again.
Okay. In the webinar, Bernie showed us how to upload the JC editor through the extensions manager. But say, like, sometimes the package is too big to upload.
Okay.
Can you upload it via the FTP to that temp folder? And my second question is, does it have to be unzipped and then uploaded to that temp folder?
You would have to unzip it, yes, into the temp folder. And then what you'd want to do is well, you could do it either way, but Bernie, if you go into the admin, into the extension manager, you'll see you can either upload a file or you can install it from a directory. So if you click the install from a directory, so it already puts in the temp. So what you'll want to do is just add after that your / and then your file name, and then it should be able to install it that way. So try it with just the zip folder. It just depends. Some extensions require you to unzip it, and some of them require you only will install it using the zip file. So I would try with the zip file first, and if that doesn't work, then unzip it and then try reinstalling again.
If I'm correct in saying this, but in Joomla 1.5, didn't you have to do something like that? You had to like unzip it, and then you had to upload the files? Or am I mistaken?
I don't know. 1.5 was so long ago.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's what you had to do or not.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, Richard, hopefully that helps you. Richard's been in a bunch of webinars recently. Zuriel has a question. Is there a way to change the login module layout? Hey, Jen, thanks for attending.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I'll just mute myself out. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Yep.
So Zuriel's question, is there a way to change the login module layout? Not really. Not really. Let's go ahead and recreate that login module. We're going to go to the module manager. New login. I'm going to put this on the left side. Call it login. On the protostar, position 8. And save and close. Return and refresh. So here's the login. You can't really change this. You can do some custom CSS work if you wanted to involve a developer like Jen, or perhaps you know the CSS yourself, but you can customize this through CSS, or you can get a new login form. Zuriel, you can go to that extensions directory and search for probably contacts and feedback, and there are different contact forms and login forms, and you can use Chrono Forms. RS Forms Pro is very popular to really customize those forms, okay, to create the look and feel that you're after. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Gurav has a question. How to stick banner in homepage? I think we covered that. So we created a banner for our homepage. Gurav, let me know if there's anything else you need. Zuriel says, okay, thanks. A question from Yannick. How do we display data from a database using SQL queries in an article? Well, that is a complex question for sure. Definitely beyond the scope of the Learn the Basics webinar. But since Jen is here, she might be able to jump in on that one. Jen, Yannick wants to display data from a database using an SQL query in an article.
Sure. Well, if he's comfortable pulling those queries from SQL and creating that display, then the JCE editor does allow you to add PHP to your article. So you just want to make sure that those settings are enabled, and then just turn those, and then you should be able to create any PHP code that's needed to pull that.
Okay.
And display it on the page.
So he'll first want to go to the JCE editor and go to Profiles and open up the default editor and allow PHP. So you're going to want to go to Editor Parameters and File System, was it? Or Advanced? Advanced. And allow...
Yep, it's right there.
Allow PHP. Any of the others for a jQuery?
For a SQL query like that, probably not, unless you want to style with, add the CSS styling and things. Maybe JavaScript, but you shouldn't need to.
Okay. And so once that's saved, just so I know, where would he put that jQuery? Would he put it in an article? How does that work?
Right, I would think you would just toggle to the HTML code view, and then you can write any sort of HTML and PHP into that content area that you need.
So we'd create a new article, he'd put it into that HTML view.
Right. The other thing, though, I would just be careful with, because anytime you're going to query your database and put that, if you add it into your content that way, this may not be the best way to do it. You may want to query the database, in a separate file, and then just grab those results. Again, this is an advanced thing, but if you're going to do a SQL query in your article, that could be read if you view the source code of your page. So it's just something to be careful of.
All right. Thanks, Jen.
Yep.
Sumya has a question. And Yannick says thank you to Jen. Sumya's question, what about a language which is written in the same way as English, like Hindi, used in India, for example? Well, yeah, again, so what we're going to want to do is follow the steps in that multilingual webinar. This is about a 2-hour session, and it's much more than just installing the installation of that. But so, for instance, like in our language manager here, you can install, and there are, I think, up to 60. I think last I saw there were 60 language packages. So if we wanted to do Hindi, I actually don't see it, or did I miss it? I don't think there's a Hindi extension, a language package here. We might be able to find one in the extensions directory too, so we should search for it. Let's go to what happened to our language packages? Translations for Joomla, maybe. You can search for those different files here as well. I'm just hoping there's Hindi. I mean, there must be. There's got to be a Hindi. Might have to search for it, but I would have to imagine that that would be available. Either way, the whole point is that you're going to install the package, but you'll have to rewrite content, and you kind of have to create double content, okay, if you want to use the language switcher. The suggestion is to follow the steps in this webinar and to create the multilingual site. So it's a separate, pretty involved process, and a 2-hour session here can help you learn. Hopefully that helps. Hamza has a hand up. Can I get back to Hamza? Hey, Hamza, are you there? Oh, Hamza, are you there? I'm going to mute you back out and put your hand down. If you raise that hand, folks, make sure that you have the microphone working. Sumya has a hand up. Sumya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, very fine, sir. And how are you?
I'm very well. Where are you attending from?
I'm from India, in Rohtak, Haryana state.
Well, welcome. How can I help you? I see you have some more questions. Let's go one at a time
Yes.
now.
Right, sir. So the first was the language question, which I asked you just before a few minutes, and you answered it. I got it. The second thing is when I am working on my website online on cloudaccess.net, and if I want to work on it offline, then how can I do it?
Right. Okay, so would you like to still be able to update the website?
Actually, I am working on 3.0,
Mm-hmm.
so I think there's no issue for updation right now, but I just want to work on it offline because I can't be online most of the time of the day. So I wish I can work on it offline on my laptop.
I see, yeah. Okay. Well, my initial reaction was to tell you that you can, if you go to global configuration, you can take the site offline. And let's save that. And now if we go to the front end, you'll notice that the site is offline, and it's, you can still log into the back end and edit. But your question is more about internet access.
Right,
And
sir.
because if you're offline, how can you edit in the cloud? And that's what we are, is we're a cloud hosting company. Jen, are you still listening?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to your question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, the question, Sumya is attending from
Yes,
India, and Sumya would like to work on a site offline, but when he says offline, he means not connected to the internet at all. So
Right.
what he's going to have to do is install Joomla on his local computer
Right.
and download a backup.
Yep. Yep, so you would basically set up your local computer as a server, and I would recommend taking an Akiba backup from your Cloud Access site and then installing it on your local host. Um, but again, once you have that installed on your local host, if you do any edits or do any work on it there, it's not something we can help you with. Unless you
Um,
re-upload it back to your Cloud Access site.
okay. One thing, ma'am. Hello.
Yep.
One more thing, ma'am. If I work on the site online on cloudaccess.net for maybe around 50 or 20 days, okay, then I wish to work on it offline, and I download it. I install Xampp. You know about Xampp now?
Yep.
I installed Xampp on my laptop, and then I installed Joomla on it, inside it. I mean, and then how can I insert the website into it? Can you please tell me the steps?
Well, there are some tips for you at joomla.org that are going to help you. But we are a web hosting company, and this is the problem that we solve for people by hosting their websites in the cloud. If you want help with that, you're going to have to go to this download tab to learn more about how to install Joomla on a local server, on your local Xampp server, and then how to upload a backup. So this is the page that you need to consult, and hopefully that helps you. Okay, we can't really support your server, your local server. We can't really help you. All right?
Right, sir.
All right.
And one more question, sir.
Okay, go for it.
I want to design a commercial website. It's regarding to the online grocery. Okay, so I want to know that what combination should I use with Joomla. I heard about VirtueMart and ZenMart also. So what would you suggest to work me on for a good website, sir?
Well, there are many solutions, and I would suggest VirtueMart. If you come to our recorded webinars here, we just did a webinar with VirtueMart, with Valerie from VirtueMart. That's right here. And she walked us through, this is about an hour session, she walked us through creating that VirtueMart shopping cart. But there are many solutions. Okay, so this is just one of them. If you come to the categories here, browse through e-commerce. Jen, I know we hear VirtueMart. Hickashop is a really popular one. Any others?
Yeah. No, I've heard more things. I've been hearing a lot more about the Simple Caddy, just in regards to with UThemes has a basically a directory type thing called Zoo, and a lot of people are using this Simple Caddy with that. So I've been hearing that one more and more as well as Zoo becomes more popular.
Cool. Cool, thanks. Sumya, so there are many options out there. VirtueMart, Hickashop, these are all very popular, but you kind of just have to search around and find what you want. There are also different types. Okay, so what type of commercial website are you building specifically?
Sir, as I told you, I am designing a online grocery shop.
Glossary.
It's for, yes, sir, grocery items.
What does that mean?
So, grocery items like pulses, cereals, oils.
Okay.
Like,
So many
yes.
different things.
Yes, sir.
Many different things. So you might want to consider the VirtueMart as well. And Jen, I think these are kind of like directories in a way. Some of these components have a directory feature to them. But you might, Sumya, you might want to go to directories as well and browse through the different options available in a directory. So Mosset
Right.
Street, for instance, Mosses tree will help you create, let's demo this. It will help you create these different categories where you can list your different items. So it might be a combination of the two, a directory and a shopping cart.
Okay, one more thing, sir.
Well, I'm going to get to some other questions. Why don't you raise your hand? We have a lot of attendees today. I want to get to
I'm
everybody's.
sorry, sir, but just one last.
You can raise your hand. I've got a lot of other questions here, Sumya, so I'm going to get to some of those other questions. Ziriel has asked, just introducing yourself, Ziriel from Holland, welcome. Alfonso has posted a question. Extensions are available for Joomla 3.0. I can see so far all extensions for 2.5. No, there are many available for 3.0, and you can actually filter. You can do an advanced search tier, Alfonso. So let's go back to the extensions directory home. We can do an advanced search, and let's search for compatibility for 3.0, 3.x series. Category, let's just say we would like an e-commerce solution. Let me scroll down here. Here we go. Oops. Go back to e-commerce. And let's search. So it takes a second to filter out, but you can see that there are many available for 3.0. And Alfonso, if there's an extension that you'd like for 3.0 that's only ready for 2.5, contact that developer and see if they have plans to upgrade to 3.0, because that is where the community is working. Richard and Robert added some comments about trying to clarify for Sumya Grocery. I got it now. Anton has a hand up. Hey, Anton, how are you? Anton, are you there? I don't hear you, so I'm going to put you on mute and put your hand back down. You did post a question. Is J support native accordion menu function? Is J hashtag support native accordion menu function?
It looks like he asks below, is it 3.0 support the native accordion menu function? I think what that means is in the sidebar menus.
Is there an accordion?
Right.
In the
Because
answer, yeah.
in 2.0 by default there is not one, the sidebar, and I don't think 3.0 has a default accordion menu either, but I know that there are extensions that do that.
Yeah. Well, there's no native or core accordion function. It's something that you'd have to go and get. But remember, if you get a template that has an accordion in it, like, okay, so Rocket Themes likes to put accordions in to their templates. They come out with a new template every month. So here's last month's Alarion. Let's demo this. And they love accordions. I wouldn't be surprised if there was in there. If you download that template, and it has an accordion in it, like this is an accordion. So this is going to come with the template probably, and it'll be in the site already. Or go to the directory and find your accordion. So you kind of just do a search, accordion menu, and you get a couple results. So here is the vertical accordion menu. This is a commercial extension. Or browse through and maybe find a non-commercial option, which I'm not seeing any. But let's go to the Shape 5 accordion menu and see the demo. And so here's our accordion. Install that in your site. Kind of cool. Kind of works. So hopefully that helps you, Anton. Hamza has a hand up again. I'm going to see if Hamza's there. Hamza, are you there?
Yes. Hello?
Yep, I can hear you just barely. Did you have a question?
No, sorry. It was an error.
All right, I'll put you back on mute. Put your hand down. Let me know. Mary Beth has posted a question. I think I joined the wrong training. I need to start at the very beginning. What recorded webinar should I begin with? Well, yeah, if you would have attended at the beginning of this one, you would have gotten a good start, but let me send you a link here. I'm going to go to our YouTube channel. Let's go to our playlists again. I'm going to send you a link. Go to the Joomla 3.0 webinars. You can watch any of the Getting Started webinars here. Actually, you know what? Let me just send you a link to our Getting Started page. If you go to Training and Getting Started, depending on which version of Joomla you're using, you can watch the 3.0 video or the 2.5 video. So here's a link to this page. Mary Beth, I'll send this to you. Also, if you scroll down on this page, Mary Beth, go to our knowledge base, and you can go to these Getting Started with Joomla 3.0 tutorials. So what we did here is we created a list of 12 tutorials that can help you develop that site. So 12 steps. This is kind of like the webinar broken down into different steps. So I'll send this link to you as well. Hopefully that material helps you. Richard has posted another question. It would be nice if the Protostar template had the ability to put a background image on the website instead of just setting the color. Yes, it would be nice, but it doesn't. It doesn't, obviously. So, I need to bring my site back online. But you can add one, and actually Jen walked us through that a few weeks ago in a webinar. Let's get back to our home page here. That was in an open forum where she did that. So if we go to our Joomla Open Forum tutorials and we go to, maybe at the bottom here, adding a background image to a template. We did this. It took about 10 minutes, and we did it using the Protostar template. So I'm going to send you this link. It did require some accessing the site using FTP, but it sounded like you're familiar with that anyway. So Frank has posted a question. Thought you guys don't encourage Rocket Themes templates. No, we definitely approve of Rocket Themes. They're a really great developer. And, you know, I think we encourage you explore and find the template that works best for you. Sumya. Let's get back to Sumya's question here. Sumya, you posted another question. What are the languages with what versions that Joomla 3.0 works upon for a normal website?
Yes, sir.
So if you go to your backend, did you explore your language manager? If you go to Extensions and Language Manager, and you go to Install Language, I'm going to show all.
Actually, it's not that the language which we speak, it's the programming language in which we program. Sir.
All right, more of a question for Jen. I know, Jen, Joomla is built on PHP, and you can style with CSS.
Yes, I don't know. Are you looking for a specific language to use on your site?
Basically, it would be good for PHP.
Yes, and that's what Joomla is built on. So you can use PHP on your site or within your site.
Okay. One more question, sir. Can you please upload a video of how to get the website offline, and then after editing something, I can get it back online?
Well, if you, we kind of have videos about that already. If you come to...
can you please tell me the link?
Yep. If you come to our knowledge base here, what you're going to want to do, I'll send you the link. You go to your client area, the category, the client area, and we're going to go to our cloud control panel. So first what you'll do is go to Managing Backups. I'm going to send you this link. This video will run you through creating that backup on our server and downloading it to your computer. So this is the first one you want. So I just sent you that link, and after you create that backup and download it to your computer and you're using that local server to edit your site, you're next going to want to upload. And so I'm going to go back to the knowledge base. You're going to want to install a Kiba backup so you can create a second backup of the site after you're done editing, and then you'll come to additional resources here, FTP, SFTP, SSH, and the article you're looking for is importing an Akiba backup into the cloudaccess.net platform. And this is the second article that you're looking for. So I'm going to send you that link as well. We kind of run through this process in a webinar that we recorded. So if we go back to our webinars page and go to recorded webinars, you're going to be able to watch that upgrade process, or the uploading the Akiba backup process in, which one was it, Jen? It was, oh boy, where'd it go?
About how to take a backup?
No, about the, our first upgrade webinar.
Oh, yes.
Where'd it go?
It's not in here?
It's gone.
I know it's on our YouTube channel.
I probably put it in,
Is it under the...
No, it should be here. I'll double check on that later. It's going to definitely be here at YouTube. So let's get back to our YouTube channel. I'll send you the link, Sumya. That was under special webinars right here. And it was right here, upgrading Joomla 2.5 to 3.0. So this kind of runs through that backup and reinstall process. So hopefully those 3 links help you with what you need to do. Paul has had a hand up for a while. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. Yeah, I can. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm calling from, well, not calling from, but located in the UK.
Oh, very good. Very
Yeah.
good. How can we help you today?
My question is, how do you go about designing your own custom themes for Joomla?
Yeah, a custom template, huh?
Yeah.
Well, first you need to decide on a framework. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked, because we're hosting a webinar on
Okay.
Friday of this week.
It's
And we have several upcoming special webinars. But I need to log out here 1 second. Let me log out. It's showing all of our old stuff. Let's get back here. Refresh. And so on Friday of this week, we have this Joomla T3v3 webinar. And this is a framework, and this is one of the most popular frameworks available for building. Okay? So I'm going to send you the link to this, and there are many template companies that base their templates on this T3v3. If you're just getting started with this, it sounds like you're pretty you're a coder, you're a developer, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to build with Joomla, first start with a framework, but there are many. There are many available.
Yeah. Right.
Jen, what resources might we have for Paul?
For the different frameworks.
Yeah, I know. So there's Joomla T3v3. There's the U theme.
There is the U theme. Yep. They have theirs is built on. I'm trying to think off the head. Oh, the Warp framework. Yep.
Yep.
Then there's also the Gavern framework from that Gavit Pro uses.
Yep.
And then there's obviously Gantry that's used by Rocket Themes.
We should just make a list for you.
I know.
There we go.
Sounds like a long list.
Many different things.
There's the U themes work framework. There's the Joomla.
Joomla Art uses
T3.
T3V.
Oops. Gavern.
Gavern.
And this is...
Or Gavik Pro uses Gavern.
Yeah. Gavik
And
Pro.
then, what did I say?
Gantry.
Gantry is by Rocket Themes.
Yep.
And again, you can search any of these frameworks, and you can get the default framework, which is basically an empty shell, and then you can create your site or your template design on top of it.
Right. Okay.
Or
That's
you
great.
can also go with one of their themes that they've already have created, and then just customize the CSS yourself as well.
Right.
So if you find one that you like, it just depends on how you want to work on it, or how stripped down you want it to be.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Thanks for your help.
All right, Paul,
You're welcome.
I hope we see you back in the T3V3 webinar, because you'll be...
You most definitely will.
Great. This is really popular, and you'll be able to speak with these guys directly, too, on Friday.
Right. Okay, thank you again.
All right, Paul from the UK. Awesome. Jen, some really complicated questions today for Learn the Basics. I'm glad you were able to join us.
I know, that's great. These are great questions.
Yeah. Richard posted a question. Bernie, tell me the name of the color picker app on your toolbar, and does Firefox have the same app? I use, it's just called Eyedropper. It just allows me to select the color from my web page. So if I like this orange color, I could select it and then go back, and it gives me the hexadecimal color for that. And so is it available for Firefox? We'll just have to search Eyedropper for Firefox. And ColorZilla, I've heard of this one, is really popular. All of these are going to have similar functionality. So just kind of search, around. They're all really similar. Very simple tool. So hopefully that helps, Richard. Anton, question, is Joomla 3.0 support? Does Joomla 3.0 support login via username and email simultaneously? In case if a user forgets the username, he can log in via email. Yeah. I think, is there an option in the user manager to log in via email?
I don't believe so.
No, you have to have the two separate. Just kind of see in here. New user registration. No, I don't. I'm fairly certain it would be here if it were a core option to log in via email, Anton, instead of username. Remember the core features, though, there's always this forgot username option within the login form that they can get their email resent to them. I know there are options out there where they can log in using Facebook and different other social media options, and those would be extensions, of course, at the directory. So you might want to browse through. Let's search for login forms. See what we find. And you're going to find different functionality in an extension. So here's the social login option. Log in through different social media as well. So hopefully that helps you. Richard says thanks. Jen, were you going to comment?
No, I was going to say the same thing, that maybe an extension, a third-party extension would help, increase the functionality of that. But
Yeah. Okay. Hamza has a hand up again. I don't know if you have a question. Hamza, are you there? Okay. Maybe not. Put your hand down again. Frank. Frank's Love Joomla. There's a real cool paid extension called Ajax Register by Sakic.net that allows the use of email as a username, plus lots of other benefits. Thanks for the suggestion, Frank, and let's share that with Anton. It was called Ajax Register. Let's go ahead and look for it. And yep, the first one, sakic.net. Anton, this is something from Frank. And send you the link here. Anton saying, please repeat. What's it called? Here's the link. Ajax register. Let me send this to you. One moment here. I just sent you that link, so you should get it. And, okay. Hopefully that helps. Thank you, Frank. And Anton is thanking Frank. Hamza said, sorry, I didn't have a hand up. It's a bug. Sure it was. Sure it was. Hey, Jen, no more questions today. We had 155 people register and a bunch of people show up. It was a good webinar. Thanks for stopping by, okay?
Wow, that's great. Thanks, Bernie. Have a good day.
Yeah. Remember, everyone, you can always come back to any of our webinars. Our next free daily webinar, they're all free, but we're going to open the site back up on Monday. You are more than welcome to attend again. Please come back. We're going to open up the Guitar Central site again. And our upcoming special webinars include the T3V3 webinar that we discussed just a moment ago. But also, next week, we're going to have a Jam Social webinar with Marav from Jam Social. This is the #1 social networking component for Joomla. So if you want to create Facebook inside your Joomla site, you want to have a social network, you can use Jam Social. EasyBlog is going to stop by the following week. This is one of the most popular blogging components for Joomla from Stack Ideas. Feel free to stop back by. And then AEC webinar. This is memberships and subscriptions. So another webinar coming up as well. Several other webinars we're working on scheduling right now, so stay tuned. We hope to see you back in the near future. Emmanuel says, thank you for everything. You're very welcome. Zurio says, thanks for a presentation. It was great. Frank says, thank you guys. Frank's love Joomla. Anton says, yay, Jam Social. Hamza says, thanks. Great work, really. You're very welcome. Thanks for attending. Good luck developing your Joomla site. We hope to see you really soon. Take care, everybody.